Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm going to be showing off some of the newer changes to Calvin's Gallery. As usual, we're going to start by turning the music down. So I'll kind of explain as I go. Let's see. I don't know if I showed this off in a previous video, but at least for the time being, you can interact with this, and it lets you skip the tutorial or skip the first forest area. For now, I'm going to skip the tutorial. And it's more of a pseudo skip. So you get some gear, you get your party. It doesn't actually complete the quests, so you can still go through and do those and, you know, kind of reacquaint yourself with everything. See, so it starts you out with some equipment. So I've added this scroll of saving within the last few builds. This lets you force autosave on and off because the menu button wasn't working. So I leave it on. Some people don't like it. Alright, so if I go to equip, there's now a new slot. This is the Relics slot. Necklaces, trinkets, and relics all drop now from those those trinket boxes that you can sometimes find. Now drop all three of those. Relics have a significant effect on your party, or on the person equipping them. Things like plus 25% damage, but 25% less defense, or more magic attack, but less defense, or more agility. Things like that. They're pretty big changes that let you kind of manipulate and build the characters in a more specific direction. I've also gone through and increased a lot of the percentages of different things. So things like elemental differences should be a little bit more significant. You know, water's going to do more damage to fire enemies now. Some of the little boosts that different equipment would give is slightly bigger. Wands and things have a slightly higher bonus action chance. Wands have also been properly split into two different kind of categories. There's the general wands and the more powerful ones. Let's head to... I have no tools, darn it. There's also been some changes to the gray bags. I just need to find one that I can reach. I can demonstrate that. This game is teasing me. Alright, Speedy. Speedy gives much more reasonable and consistent rewards now. So you're not just going to get suddenly inundated with a massive amount of stuff. Alright, here we go. Let's see. A maze. Alright, see, so now when you collect the fate fragments, they turn into these little crosses. Each cross has a little lore bit, or a comment, or a complaint. me see if I can find another one on my way out. Shoot. I'm not equipped to deal with the maze. Ooh. Oh. Okay, that one I'd missed. Got the cat. I'm also putting together another version of the maze that has no enemies in it, so it's just the maze. I'm sure a lot of people are excited to hear about that. So that way there'll be, you know, when you go to the maze, there'll be 4 different versions. I think this is a version of the maze I hadn't finished updating with the crosses. Let me out, let me out, let me out. I did not talk to the priest. I don't have the homestone. Why don't these things move? So, the bushes are supposed to move like every second. But for some reason, they keep getting stuck in these not moving situations where they'll just sit in the same spot for upwards of a minute. So I think I might add in a way to just destroy the bushes. Or at least attempt to destroy the bushes. Because as it stands now, they just kind of sit there and won't get out of the way. Which is, like, you know, kind of the intention, but they're supposed to move at some point. The party is going down. So I'm definitely going to update the tutorial skip to give the homestone. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to. Oh, I am out of magic already. Okay. I feel like I end up in mazes in a lot of these videos. The exit should be nearby. Nope, I am on the opposite side. So I need to get around either this wisp or that bush. See, I don't get why they get stuck like that. He should be moving continuously. Oh, that's the exit down there, isn't it? Ha ha ha! Beat you to it. Alright, here, now I can demonstrate this a little better. There. Don't go to the desert. Dragon patrols its borders. Let's see, can I get a trinket box from any of these? Doesn't look like it. Seeds. A lot of seeds. Ooh, necklace. Nice. Where'd that other bag come from? I have never seen that happen before. What? It's existing in 2 states at once somehow. Weird. Alright. Well, I'll fix that in a bit. But so as you can see, it turned into those little crosses. Each of the random areas is going to have those. So the idea is that all of the Fate Fragment drops will be replaced so that they leave behind a little cross that'll have a lore tidbit. Oh, yeah. Ooh, 2. Nope, just 2. And obviously, like, that one was blocking it, so a lot of them are getting moved slightly to the side. Berries and seeds. Alright, let's go get... Oops. Let's grab the homestone. And I'll fight the... Let's fight the spirits and see... Oh, I forgot to give him his sword. That might be part of it. Maybe I can get them to drop a relic box. Just by sheer quantity. So, I believe it's a 1% drop chance from every enemy. So, theoretically, if I just kill a ton of enemies, I should find one. What the heck? Why can't I hit anything? These guys have, at most, a 25% dodge chance. Ah, there we go, trinket box. Ooh, cool, it dropped a spell book. Nice. That's a pretty solid one, too. Man, I keep running into these 3s. I want a swarm. So let's see, we got TP gain, HP steal, and MP steal. That's really nice, actually. one of you has to be a swarm. There we go. My own game is making fun of me. Nearly all of these should be swarms. Why am I getting just small groups? Ah, finally. Yeah, there we go, another trinket box. Oh, found a trinket. So, trinkets all have small boosts to kind of everything. I did change a lot of things like necklaces and rings. They give larger amounts of bonuses, but they're more focused. So things like the lucky necklace, you can see pretty much exclusively affects luck. It doesn't have a small boost to everything now. That helps, makes the different pieces a little bit more unique, a little more specialized, and it makes it a lot easier to kind of pick which one you want instead of having to juggle. Oh, well, this is a 10% boost to my luck, but it also gives +5 to this stat. Aha, another swarm. Nice, 10 magic back. That one's stunned, so we can hit someone else. Stun has also been tweaked, so getting hit no longer removes stun. Since not a lot of enemies actually apply the stun status, this is more of a buff for the party. It should be pretty nice when it comes to things like boss fights, or when you're just generally overwhelmed. Let's harvest one of these. So you'll see that these the treasure plants they still give some loot, but it is significantly less than what it was before. They used to give beyond excessive amounts. Herb plants have actually gotten a slight buff, so they give slightly more herbs with each harvest. They grow a little bit faster, given the fact the herbs are, they're a pretty minor thing, and you're going to consume a lot of them. I figured it was good to give more of those. Then we've got the crystal plants, which now give all different types of crystal items, not just the dusts. So, like, they can give experience stones, they can give the island gems that inflict status effects. That one pretty much only gave dust. Oh, they can give water shards, they can give the clusters. So, they can give a much larger variety of things now. making them a much more versatile plant. And the goal is to kind of encourage you to actually harvest them instead of just letting them grow indefinitely until they're immense sizes. I'm just going to put everything into Calvin. Now let's turn in some kittens. Another thing that I've done, and I'll see if I can show you in the forest, is I've reduced the number of enemies kind of running around. So I'm trying to make the game a little bit more fluid, so you're not just constantly running into fights and you actually get to explore a little bit more. So the idea is that things like chests and some of the world loot will give small amounts of experience. That way you can focus more on exploring and looting and less on having to run around and grind fights. Or dodge fights. I'm also making a lot more of the plants harvestable. The later areas, this is already done. Some of the early areas I've already worked on it. It's kind of the side maps that still need to be changed. You'll end up with a lot more herbs. But I think with the reduced emphasis on combat, it means come boss fights, you're going to need a lot more of those healing items. So it should be good in the long run to kind of give you a pretty hefty stockpile of those. So like that plant's already there, still there. But then if we go down here, there's usually that spider that's running around. It has been removed. One of the two of the plants have been removed. There's been... so every area there's a couple fewer fights. It should be a little bit easier to go around the fights that you don't want. That'll be really nice for, you know, when you're returning to areas and you don't want to deal with the low-level enemies. Or if you're just trying to get through, like, for example, in the forest, if you're just trying to get through it and get to the grave sites and things. You know, it's weird. Is all of these random areas have an equal chance to show up, but I feel like it really gravitates towards just the same couple. Oh. Ah, shoot. Alright, I am getting wrecked here. I wanted the cat. Instead, I'm being eaten by bugs. This is not ideal. Oh, and yeah, they go first. Oh no, I am so done. Oh. Oh. I don't think I'm getting out of this one. Definitely should have talked to Speedy again. I could use more of her explosives. I think I'm doing less damage now. Oh! Ouch. What the heck? Everyone's left at 1 health. Alright. Lewis is just down. Alright, do I have any... No. Why do they keep getting stuck in those attack loops? I know Rage gives an extra action, but it should only be... No, it doesn't. It gives bonus damage. Now, why is Margaret... Did I accidentally make her immune to getting knocked out? Alright, I'm just going to close this here. Let's take a look at what's going on. Alright, so first of all, Margaret. No knockout immunity. There is Blessed. No KO immunity. Let's go to... Good Swarm. So you can lose. But it won't let you. Troops. Bugoid. Nope, nothing special here either. Why couldn't she go down? I have no idea why they couldn't take her out. There was no status effect that should have been applied. Alright, and Rage. Yeah, Rage does not give an extra action. Bugoid. They don't have an extra action. So I'm going to drop that down to like a 4. Alright, but why? So they do get an extra action half the time. What was even going on there then? That was odd, to say the least. I mean, they were throwing that thing out like 8 times in a row. That was wild. Well, I'm going to have to look into this more, I guess. And let's put conditional branch here. If let's see. Light killed is on. Then it'll do that. There we go. That way, when you actually get here and you're leveled up for it, you're not just, it doesn't just ignore you. It was this one. Maybe it's the can lose thing? I don't know why she couldn't go down, though. That was so bizarre. So I'll just remove the can lose. Odd. Alright, and that maze was, I believe, maze 3. Oh no, it was the maze exit that was weird. Yeah, so why did it stay? That was beyond bizarre. Because there's nothing there. So it's just bugged, I guess? Well, let's see if this works. This might just crash the recording, but... Why is it doing that? That'd be, that'd be funny if you could go back into the maze. That's bizarre. I've never seen her do that before. It shouldn't even be possible. Self switch on, and then that activates that. But if I go to, like, here, it would do the same thing. Okay, see, so it works fine there. What is different about this one? Nothing. It's exactly copied and pasted. Maybe it needs that walking thing? Like, is that how it, like, updates its icon? Well, no, it already had that before. Action button, self switch on, you get a faint fragment, and it swaps to this. Alright, so it works sometimes. Mm. I wonder if there's a way I can force this to turn off. You know what? I know. I'll change icon. So we're out. Change image. Oh, that's probably not going to work. Well, I'll have to look into this more and see if I can figure out why it's doing that. It's never done that before. And now it's doing it consistently, but only on this map. Tile set B. Misc icons. Yeah, there's no reason it should be getting stuck like that. Hmm. Well, I'm just not sure. There's no passive things going on here. Well, that doesn't show up till later anyways. Huh. Well, here, I'll show you some of the other stuff while I'm here. So here's the new relics. So you can see 25% boost to attack, 10% reduction of defense. Same thing for magic. Then this one boosts magic and normal attack, but 25% less defense. This one boosts defense at the cost of attack and agility. This one boosts speed and agility at the cost of everything else. This one just boosts everything. Charging relic, you get a 10% reduction to all attributes, but you get health, magic, and TP generation. Pretty solid. And then amped relic's just the opposite. 25% boost to all attributes, but you lose health and magic. So if you really stack health regen on someone, amped could be really solid, especially Margaret, who doesn't use magic to begin with. Or pair her with some sort of vampiric ability. This should just give you a lot more kind of control over how your characters behave and build. And then having things like the balanced relic means that if you don't want to take any of these negative ones, you can still get a bonus. You can still use that slot. It'll be smaller than the others, but you get something out of it. Let's see. Where are the wands? Wands. Okay, so you got like the Earth Wand, for example. 5% action, and now it gives a 25% boost to Earth damage, where before it was only 10%. Then if we go to Toxic, which is sort of the boosted version of the Earth Wand, still got the 25% boost. You get an extra action chance along with the chance to poison with every attack, and an increased boost to applying poison statuses. Fire, extra action, boost to fire damage, Scorching Wand, same thing as the Toxic Wand, but with fire. Winged Wand gives you stagger chances, boosts air damage, gives you a 10% extra action chance. So Winged Wand gives the highest boost to action chance. but you only get staggered, which is pretty minor status overall. Lightning Wand gives you a 3% total chance to stun. I guess it'd be like 3.75% chance. Pretty small though. Glacial Wand, you've got slow and chilled. And then, yeah, standard ones, each one just affects a single element. Rings, so like health and mana, you can see they still have all of the stuff, or all of the different attributes they can affect. But you go to like the Ring of the Mountain, or the Warrior's Ring, and now they only affect much more specific stats. And so that way, like, you know, if you want luck, you're not juggling between 10 different rings hoping to get the better roll. You're just finding the lucky ring that has the highest roll. Should be a little bit easier to kind of manage inventory that way. I don't think I've changed any of these. And nothing super new. A lot of balancing, a lot of back-end stuff. Overall, things continue to improve. Yeah. If you like it, if you like the direction it's going, please give me some feedback. I'm easy to find on X. You can comment on Itch. There's the YouTube, obviously. That's where you're watching this. So please let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you think we need more of, what I should kind of back away from. Ideas for the next games. You know, anything. I'm open to ideas. I want to hear your feedback. I want to know what people like. Oh, wait a minute. Can this give... Or is it... Alright, I was wondering if maybe one of the healing items I used is what had given Margaret the immunity to KO. Still not sure why she couldn't go down, though. There's nothing that should have done that. Oh, that's great. Well, that's everything for now. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to showing you more gameplay down the road, especially with all the new updates and balance changes. Until next time. Yeah. I'll play... Cards and player yards. Gain a chip shield. Which one is who's parry? Oh, okay, so every 5 purples. Let's go with extra damage.